Baba Vanga's final warning. For 2025, shocking prophecies unfolding now. Volcanoes rumble, governments tremble, and technology moves faster than we can grasp. But what if all of this was foreseen? Not by a scientist or a strategist, but by a blind mystic from Bulgaria. Long before our modern chaos began, Baba Vanga, known for her eerie accuracy and spine-chilling visions, left behind a final warning for the year 2025. A warning so startling, it's forcing many to question, are her prophecies coming true right before our eyes? In this episode of The Journey of Wisdom, we'll dive deep into her most shocking predictions. What did she truly see for our world? And how can we prepare mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for what may come? Let's journey into the unknown together. Number 1. Who was Baba Vanga? To understand the weight of Baba Vanga's prophecies, especially those tied to the year 2025, we must begin with the story of the woman herself, someone whose life was as mysterious as the visions she shared. Born as Vangelia Pandiva Gusareva in a quiet Bulgarian village, her early years were shaped by poverty and tragedy. At the age of 12, during a violent storm, she lost her eyesight. An event that, according to her and many of her followers, awakened something extraordinary within her, what she described as a third eye. From that moment on, she began to have vivid visions of the future, claiming to see not just events of individuals' lives, but also monumental changes on a global scale. For more than 5 decades, Baba Vanga shared these visions, offering advice, warnings, and insights that drew people from all corners of the world. Though many have debated the accuracy of her predictions, there's no denying the chilling nature of some that appeared to come true, such as the September 11th attacks, the devastating 2004 tsunami in Asia, the rise of ISIS, and even the year of her own death in 1996. Because of these, her name became synonymous with mystery, and many began to call her the Nostradamus of the Balkans. As we find ourselves moving through 2025, the world is once again turning its attention to Baba Vanga's words, not out of superstition alone, but out of a sincere desire to find meaning in a time that often feels uncertain. With political unrest, economic shifts, environmental concerns, and the fast pace of technological changes shaping our lives, her predictions are being revisited with both curiosity and caution. Some of her visions for this year include dramatic shifts in global power, mysterious advancements in science and artificial intelligence, and disruptions in the natural world. Earthquakes, floods, and strange weather patterns that mirror what we're beginning to see today. Whether you view these as coincidences or something deeper, her forecasts stir a very real concern about the path humanity is walking. And it's not just about doom and gloom. Within many of her messages, there are also deeper reminders to live more consciously, to take better care of the planet, and to listen to the quiet signals of change before they become loud warnings. This is especially relevant in modern life, where we are constantly bombarded with information, distracted by speed, and pressured to always be doing. Baba Vanga's story and the seriousness with which people took her words can serve as a powerful call for stillness and awareness. Her life reminds us that even in suffering, insight can emerge, and perhaps that is one of her most important messages. In a world spinning with change, what we truly need isn't just to predict the future, but to prepare ourselves inwardly through wisdom, compassion, and action. It's easy to feel anxious when hearing about ominous predictions, but rather than living in fear, we can take these stories as motivation to make more mindful choices, supporting our communities, protecting the environment, and nurturing our mental and emotional health. Baba Vanga may have spoken of storms to come, but within that storm, we have the choice to be calm, steady, and kind, to ourselves and to others. And as we move forward through 2025, perhaps that is the real prophecy worth listening to. Number 2. Her predictions for 2025. Prediction 1. Alien contact. Let's talk about one of Baba Vanga's most mysterious and chilling predictions for 2025, the possibility of alien contact. According to her visions, beings from beyond our world may reach out to humanity, not just to be seen or studied, but to make direct contact with global leaders. Imagine that for a moment. Not just whispers of UFO sightings, but open meetings, discussions, and the sharing of powerful, advanced technologies. Baba Vanga didn't just hint at their existence. She suggested that their arrival could mark a turning point for human civilization. But she also warned that this gift of knowledge could either be a blessing or a burden. Will these visitors help us solve our deepest crises, like climate change, disease, or war? Or will their arrival shake our foundations and threaten the delicate balance we've built? With rising reports from pilots and military officials about unexplained aerial phenomena and countries like the US openly investigating UAPs, it feels like this prediction isn't as far-fetched as it once seemed. Science fiction is starting to echo real life. So we must ask ourselves, are we ready? Not just for the sight of something otherworldly, but for the deeper impact it could have on our societies, our beliefs, and our sense of who we are. Would our world unite in curiosity and wonder, or crumble in fear and confusion? How do we judge something so unknown? By their actions, or by our fears? These questions aren't just for dreamers or conspiracy theorists. They challenge every one of us to think about the kind of world we are shaping. And here's the deeper message. Whether or not these beings arrive, how we treat the unknown, how we approach the unfamiliar, reveals our character. Are we open, wise, and peaceful, or reactive, fearful, and divided? Let this be a reminder. The real wisdom lies not in knowing what's out there, but in preparing ourselves, our hearts, our minds, and our intentions for whatever may come. Prediction 2. The devastating earthquake. Let's take a moment to imagine a world where the very ground beneath our feet shifts so dramatically that it changes the course of one of the largest rivers in the world, the Mississippi. This is exactly what the famous Bulgarian mystic Baba Vanga predicted for the year 2025, a massive and devastating earthquake in the United States, powerful enough to reshape geography and cause unimaginable destruction. Now, you might be wondering, could such a thing really happen? Could a natural disaster be so extreme that it alters the path of a river that has flowed the same way for thousands of years? According to her vision, cities would crumble, countless lives would be affected, and the aftermath would bring not just emotional devastation, but a full-blown humanitarian and economic crisis. Some might shrug this off as an exaggeration or the stuff of legend, but let's look at what science says. Seismologists have long studied the New Madrid seismic zone, a vast area stretching across Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. It was here in the early 1800s that some of the most powerful earthquakes in US history took place, and experts warn that this region is still very much alive beneath the surface. If something similar were to strike again, are we truly prepared for what could follow? Consider this. Just in April of 2024, a surprising 4.7 magnitude earthquake hit near New York City, a region not typically known for such seismic activity. It shook buildings and rattled nerves, serving as a reminder that the Earth doesn't always follow our expectations. So, what if Baba Vanga's warning isn't just a mystical tale, but a glimpse into a potential reality? How do we as individuals and as a society prepare for the unexpected? Are we aware of the signs beneath our feet, or have we grown too comfortable in assuming that tomorrow will look like today? The ground may seem solid, but history and prophecy alike remind us that change can come in a single, shattering moment. If you've watched this far, you're already tuned in to the mysteries that could shape our future. Comment below with "Prophecy Awakened" to show you're ready to face what lies ahead. Don't click away. There's still more to uncover about Baba Vanga's chilling predictions for 2025. Stay with us until the end and see what could be unfolding right now before our eyes. Prediction 3. The tsunami that could rival history's worst. Baba Vanga's second chilling prophecy for the year 2025 speaks of a devastating tsunami, one that could surpass even the horror of the 2004 Indian Ocean disaster, which took more than 230,000 lives and shook nations across. While it's easy to dismiss such predictions as mere folklore, the warning itself pushes us to confront real-world vulnerabilities, especially in densely populated coastal areas where millions live and work each day, unaware of how fragile the ground beneath the sea can be. Science does not ignore this possibility. In fact, experts continue to sound the alarm about the growing instability in the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region known for violent tectonic shifts. These undersea movements, invisible to the naked eye, hold immense destructive power, and as some geologists note, recent data suggests that changes in oceanic plates may be occurring more frequently than previously thought, often with little media attention. This brings us to a deeper question. In a world so connected, where technology is at our fingertips and news spreads in seconds, why do we still find ourselves unprepared when disaster strikes? As we reflect on Baba Vanga's vision, it's not just fear that should move us. It should be awareness, preparation, and compassion. Governments must take stronger measures to improve early warning systems, invest in coastal infrastructure, and educate communities. But on a personal level, we too have a role, whether it's checking on loved ones, learning evacuation routes, or supporting disaster preparedness initiatives. Small actions can ripple outward, just like a wave. In the end, the future is never fixed. It's shaped by how mindfully we live in the present. Let this prophecy be not just a warning, but a call to be more aware, more united, and more ready to protect life, no matter what lies ahead. Prediction 4. A looming economic crisis. Let's take a moment to reflect on Baba Vanga's fifth prediction, one that touches every person, every home, and every nation, a looming economic crisis in 2025. According to her vision, this collapse wouldn't just be another dip in the financial cycle. It would be driven by something deeper and more dangerous: rising global debt, relentless inflation, and increasing tension between nations. Now, it's easy to dismiss such warnings as exaggerated, but take a closer look around you. Are the signs not already here? Economists today are voicing similar concerns. Inflation is no longer just a statistic we read about, it's something we feel every time we shop for groceries or pay our utility bills. The cost of living is rising steadily while wages struggle to keep pace. Public debt is climbing in countries around the world, putting pressure on governments and leaving less room for recovery if things get worse. In the United Kingdom, a recession that started in late 2023 has already begun to test the limits of what leaders can do to restore stability. And this isn't just a British issue, it's part of a larger interconnected global struggle. So the question is, if we're already seeing the storm clouds gather, what should we do before the downpour begins? More importantly, what can you do in your own life to stay grounded when the world around you feels uncertain? Maybe it begins with learning to live simply, to reduce unnecessary debt, to be more mindful with spending, and to nurture a sense of gratitude for what you already have. Economic crises aren't just about money. They reveal how deeply we are attached to material comfort and how easily we forget the power of community, compassion, and resilience. In moments like these, instead of fear, can we choose preparation? Can we choose wisdom over worry? Let Baba Vanga's warning not scare you, but awaken you. The message here isn't just about a collapsing economy. It's about the importance of building inner strength, practicing contentment, and supporting one another. Crises will come and go, but what defines us is how we respond to them. Are you preparing just your bank account, or are you preparing your heart and mind as well? Let this be your reminder. True wealth is found not in what you have, but in who you are when everything else is uncertain. Prediction 5. Political turmoil, a leader's downfall. Let's take a deep breath and explore a truly thought-provoking prophecy that has captured the attention of many. Baba Vanga's fifth prediction for 2025, one that centers around political turmoil and the fall of a powerful leader. According to those who have studied her visions, she foresaw the dramatic and shocking downfall of Russian President Vladimir Putin, not at the hands of foreign enemies, but from someone within his own country. Imagine for a moment what kind of ripple effect such an event could cause, not just in Russia, but across the entire globe. If this were to unfold, what would it mean for the already delicate balance of power in the world? Would it bring about greater chaos or create space for new leadership and diplomacy? As we're already witnessing, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has shaken global alliances, affecting not only political ties but also economies and the everyday lives of millions. The removal of a central figure like Putin could open a door to uncertainty, igniting internal power struggles and shifting military strategies both inside Russia and beyond. How would other nations respond? Would they step in to stabilize, or seize the moment to assert their own influence? And while we reflect on these possibilities, Baba Vanga also warned of an increase in terrorist activities throughout Europe, a chilling reminder that peace can be as fragile as glass. In an age where the world feels more connected yet more divided than ever, her prophecy invites us to ask, are we truly prepared for sudden shifts in leadership or for the consequences of rising fear and instability? What can we do, not just as nations but as individuals, to promote understanding and unity rather than division and reaction? These questions don't have simple answers, but asking them opens the door to awareness. As you listen, ask yourself, what role do you play in this ever-changing world, and how can we each contribute to keeping peace alive, even when the future seems uncertain? Prediction 6. Breakthroughs in medicine. While many of Baba Vanga's prophecies for 2025 stir fear or uncertainty, one stands out as a glimmer of hope, a potential breakthrough in medicine that could reshape the future for millions around the globe. Among her visions, she foresaw remarkable advancements in the treatment of devastating illnesses like Alzheimer's and cancer. These are not abstract concerns. They affect real families, real lives. Today, nearly every household knows someone who is battling these conditions or has been touched by them in some way. So, when Baba Vanga spoke of revolutionary progress in this area, it wasn't just a prediction. It became a source of quiet hope for a world in need of healing. Recent scientific achievements seem to echo this vision. In Russia, researchers are reporting promising developments in cancer vaccines, potentially moving us closer to treatments that could train the body to fight off tumors before they ever take hold. Meanwhile, scientists in the UK are exploring the powerful potential of DNA-based therapies, particularly for hard-to-treat cancers like those found in the lungs. These aren't distant dreams anymore. They are tangible breakthroughs being tested in real time. And if 2025 is the year when such treatments become accessible or widespread, it could mark a turning point, not just in healthcare, but in how we view illness, aging, and even mortality itself. For those of us navigating the complexities of modern life, juggling work, caring for aging parents, or even managing our own health, these developments offer more than just medical relief. They offer emotional comfort, a sense of control in an unpredictable world. So while much of what lies ahead may still be uncertain, this part of the prophecy invites us to hold on to optimism, to stay informed, and to support the progress of science, not just as passive observers, but as people who deeply care about the well-being of our communities. In a time when fear can easily dominate, let's choose to focus on what gives us strength, hope, healing, and the possibility of a healthier tomorrow. If you're still here, it means you're not afraid to look beyond the veil. Comment "Eyes open" below to affirm your readiness to understand what others might ignore. These prophecies are more than predictions. They're a call for awareness, preparation, and awakening. Stay until the end, and let's uncover the deeper meaning together. Number 3. Baba Vanga's far future predictions. Baba Vanga, often called the Nostradamus of the Balkans, continues to stir deep curiosity not only for her prophecies concerning the near future, but also for her bold visions of humanity's far future. As her predictions stretch beyond 2025, they paint a mysterious and thought-provoking picture of what might lie ahead. One of her most striking forecasts suggests that by the year 2434, Europe would come under Islamic leadership, a dramatic shift in global power dynamics that raises questions about the evolution of culture, religion, and politics over the centuries. Rather than reacting with fear or skepticism, it's more meaningful to consider what such a prediction tells us about the nature of societal transformation. History shows us that civilizations rise and fall, values shift, and cultures blend. In a world that's already deeply interconnected, perhaps Baba Vanga was pointing not to conflict, but to the long-term merging of traditions and beliefs. Reflecting on this, we might ask ourselves, how can we live with more openness today, in a time where cultural understanding is urgently needed? She went even further, predicting that by 3034, humanity would master the ability to travel through time. While science today is still only scratching the surface of this idea, such a prophecy invites us to think deeply about our relationship with time, not just as a measurement, but as a dimension of our lives, filled with memories, choices, and possibilities. Whether or not time travel becomes a reality, we are already time travelers in a sense, moving forward, moment by moment, shaping the future with each decision we make. What Baba Vanga's vision awakens in us is the understanding that every action matters, because what we do today echoes into the days to come. It's a call to be mindful, to live with intention, and to hold reverence for both our past and the future we are building. Her final prediction, perhaps the most haunting, was that the world would come to an end in the year 5379. While this date lies far beyond our own lifetimes, the mere thought of an end compels us to reevaluate what truly matters. We often live as though time is limitless, postponing kindness, delaying healing, and forgetting how precious this life truly is. The idea of an eventual end isn't just about doom. It's a gentle reminder that everything in life is impermanent. In Buddhist thought, the acceptance of impermanence is not a cause for sorrow. It is the root of wisdom and compassion. If we understand that all things are changing, we become more present, more grateful, and more loving. Baba Vanga's distant visions may seem fantastical, but they also serve as mirrors, reflecting our own hopes, fears, and the timeless human desire to understand what lies ahead. In today's world, filled with uncertainty and rapid change, these distant predictions aren't just about the far-off future. They're invitations to reflect on the present. What kind of future are we creating through our actions right now? Are we choosing compassion over division, understanding over fear? Whether or not her visions come true, they gently push us to live more fully and with deeper awareness. So as we listen to these astonishing prophecies, let us also listen to the quiet truth they carry. The future is shaped not only by fate, but by the choices we make with the time we've been given. A message of wisdom for 2025. Buddhist teachings in uncertain times. In a world where headlines often echo fear, natural disasters, political upheaval, rising tension between nations, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless. But there's an ancient path of wisdom that offers peace even in the storm. The teachings of the Buddha. While Baba Vanga's prophecies for the year 2025 may stir anxiety, they also open a doorway, an invitation to turn inward, reflect deeply, and ask ourselves, how do we live with more clarity, compassion, and calm in a time of great change? Number 1. Everything is impermanent. So, let go of fear. In these uncertain times, as we navigate the shifting sands of 2025, it becomes more important than ever to return to one of the Buddha's most profound teachings. Everything is impermanent. Anicca. Nothing stays the same. Relationships evolve, careers transform, economies rise and fall, and even the strongest structures, both external and internal, will one day dissolve. As the Dhammapada reminds us, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. The storms we face, whether personal or collective, are not permanent features of our lives, but passing weather. Yet, it is often our fear of change, our deep attachment to control and predictability, that brings us the most suffering. We clutch tightly to routines, expectations, or identities, as if they could shelter us from the unknown. But like grasping water with our hands, the tighter we squeeze, the more it slips away. Instead, the wisdom of the path encourages us to soften, to let go, not in defeat, but in acceptance. Like a tree that bends with strong winds and survives, we too must learn to sway with life, rather than snap under its pressure. Letting go does not mean apathy. It means releasing the fear-driven need to control what is naturally beyond our control. In the hustle of modern life, where headlines shift daily, job roles change overnight, and relationships are tested by distance and stress, this teaching grounds us in something real: presence. Stability, paradoxically, comes not from holding on, but from learning how to flow. Ask yourself today, gently and honestly, what are you still clinging to that causes tension in your heart? Is it a past mistake, a fear of the future, or an idea of who you think you must be? Consider the wise words of Zen master Shunryu Suzuki. In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's there are few. When we let go of fixed views and soften our grip on life's outcomes, we open ourselves to something freer, more alive. So, in 2025, make space for lightness. Replace fear with faith, not blind faith, but a deep trust in the unfolding of each moment. Let this be the year you choose to bend like the bamboo, strong yet flexible, rooted yet unafraid to dance with the wind. Number 2, true security comes from within. In times like 2025, when the world feels uncertain and constantly shifting, from the economy to the environment to global events, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But Buddhist wisdom gently offers us a timeless reminder. True security doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. That might sound simple, but its meaning runs deep. Outer situations will always change, sometimes in ways we can't control or predict. But when we look inward, when we learn to calm our mind and steady our heart, we begin to discover a kind of peace that doesn't depend on headlines, financial markets, or anyone else's behavior. Can you think of a time when everything around you was chaotic, but you felt a moment of calm inside? That moment, however brief, is the seed of inner security. And the good news is that peace can grow. Buddhist teachings guide us to turn to the breath, to mindfulness, to stillness, not as an escape from the world, but as a way to meet it more clearly, more kindly, and with less fear. When we cultivate this kind of awareness, we train the mind to become our refuge, a safe, quiet place we can return to again and again. A steady mind isn't a luxury, it's a form of strength. It gives us the ability to respond rather than react. This difference might seem small, but it changes everything. A reactive mind often comes from fear, habit, or impulse, but a responsive mind takes a breath, pauses, and chooses from wisdom. Which one do you think brings more peace, not just to yourself, but to those around you? This practice of coming back to the present moment, again and again, builds a powerful foundation, even when life feels like it's shifting beneath our feet. And here's something simple but profound you can do. Each morning, before the noise of the day begins, take just 5 minutes to sit quietly. Let your breath be your anchor. Inhale, exhale. Notice your thoughts like clouds drifting by in the sky. Acknowledge them, then let them pass without holding on. It's not about emptying your mind or getting it perfect. It's about being with yourself, gently, right where you are. Over time, this quiet morning ritual becomes more than just a habit. It becomes your reminder that peace is already available, right here, right now. What would it feel like to start your day not with stress, but with spaciousness, not with panic, but with presence? That small shift can ripple out into your whole day, into how you speak, how you listen, how you make decisions. Buddhist wisdom doesn't ask us to avoid difficulty, but to face it with clarity and compassion. And that starts with being grounded in our own inner calm. So the message for this moment, for this year, for you, is this. When the outside world feels shaky, don't forget the strength you already carry inside. Let your breath guide you home. Let your stillness be your shelter. Let mindfulness be the way you create peace, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. The lesson is simple, but powerful. The more we train our minds to be calm and aware, the less the chaos of the world can shake us. And in that steadiness, we become a light for others too. Number 3. Compassion is the antidote to chaos. In times like these, when the world feels uncertain, when division and fear seem to echo through every headline and conversation, it's natural to feel overwhelmed or even powerless. But let me share something with you that's been whispered through generations of wisdom. Compassion is the antidote to chaos. Imagine that for a moment. Not anger, not control, not shouting over others, but compassion. The Buddha, more than 2,500 years ago, spoke of karuna, a deep, active empathy for the suffering of others, as one of the most powerful forces in the world. He reminded us that we are not isolated islands, but threads in a shared human tapestry. Just as a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life, he said in the Metta Sutta, even so, one should cultivate a boundless heart toward all beings. Can you feel the depth of that love? That's the kind of compassion the world is aching for right now. So what does that look like in your everyday life? It's not about grand gestures or fixing everything all at once. It's about the small, quiet moments. Checking in on a friend who's been silent. Holding space for someone's pain without judgment. Forgiving a hurt you've carried too long. Or offering a warm smile to a stranger who might just be holding back tears. These moments may seem small, but they are actually acts of courage. They're like tiny lanterns lit in a storm, showing others that warmth, understanding, and peace still exist. Have you ever noticed how one genuine act of kindness can shift an entire day for you and for someone else? That's not a coincidence. That's compassion in action. You see, when fear takes over, we tend to build walls around our hearts, around our communities. But compassion does the opposite. It breaks down those barriers. It says, I see you, I feel with you, and I'm here with you. And in doing so, it reconnects us with the very essence of being human. The Dalai Lama once said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Isn't that beautiful? It means compassion is not just something we give to others, it nourishes us too. It helps us heal, find purpose, and bring peace to our own hearts. Ask yourself, when was the last time you allowed compassion to guide your response instead of anger, fear, or indifference? Now, as we step into 2025, a year that feels heavy with uncertainty and change, let's carry this wisdom with us. Let's be the ones who choose kindness over cruelty, who choose to listen instead of judge, and who dare to care even when the world tells us to harden our hearts. Because while we may not have control over everything that happens around us, we do have control over how we show up in the world. And kindness, genuine, heartfelt kindness, has a ripple effect. It may not change the entire world overnight, but it can transform your world. And from there, like a drop in still water, it ripples outward. Who might your compassion reach today? What small act could become someone else's lifeline? So, I leave you with this gentle reminder. Don't underestimate the power of a kind word, a forgiving heart, or a helping hand. In the midst of chaos, compassion is your light. And if enough of us carry that light forward, who knows, maybe, just maybe, we'll light the way for a better, more connected world. Number 4. Prepare the heart, not just the pantry. In times like these, when the world feels uncertain and the future seems harder to predict, many of us instinctively turn to preparation. We save money, we stock our pantries, we make contingency plans. These actions are wise and necessary, but there's another kind of preparation that often gets overlooked, the preparation of the heart. Because even if we have shelves full of food and savings in the bank, what comfort will that bring if our minds are clouded by fear, anger, or greed? The Buddha's teachings remind us that suffering, what he called dukkha, is a part of life, not because life is hopeless, but because it is ever-changing and unpredictable. This insight isn't meant to depress us, rather, it is an invitation to stop resisting the natural flow of life. When we stop expecting life to be smooth or always pleasant, we stop being shocked or shaken when challenges arrive. This shift in perspective opens the door to inner strength, because we're no longer fighting reality, we're learning to walk with it. So as 2025 unfolds, with all its unknowns, the real question is not only whether your pantry is full, but whether your heart is ready. Are you willing to sit with discomfort instead of running from it? Can you stay present when anxiety creeps in, rather than spiraling into panic? In everyday life, this might look like pausing before reacting when a loved one says something hurtful, or staying calm when plans suddenly fall apart. It might mean breathing deeply when the news feels overwhelming, and remembering that even in the midst of instability, your awareness can be your anchor. Preparing the heart means cultivating calm in chaos, choosing kindness when it's hard, and finding clarity through stillness. So yes, stock your pantry, but more importantly, nourish your inner world. Because when the heart is steady, even uncertain times can be met with peace. As we've seen, Baba Vanga's prophecies for 2025 aren't just predictions. They're powerful reminders to live more consciously, to prepare inwardly, and to meet uncertainty with calm and compassion. Whether or not all these visions come true, the deeper message remains. Awaken your mind, steady your heart, and walk forward with wisdom. If this video has sparked reflection or offered you insight, please support our journey by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming episodes exploring ancient truths for modern times. Until next time, stay grounded, stay kind, and may you walk your path with clarity and peace.